Ralph.
Hi, Chief.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Hi.
We good?
Hot.
Yeah, it is a little warm, isn't it? That's all right. It's all right. So we good to roll? Erica Shields, Chief of Police, LMPD, and I also am going to have speaking with me Major Steve Healy, 2nd Division Commander. We had 2 shootings out here last night, 3 victims, one's deceased. One prognosis is not good. They were all younger, 15, couple of 16-year-olds. It goes without saying that the violence is unacceptable, and children getting killed is just, we shouldn't even be having this discussion. But that being said, our real reason for being out here today is just to let the community know that they are a priority to us. It's not, we don't just process a crime scene and leave. We need them to know that we are aware that this violence is going on here. We're aware that gunshots have become the norm, and they need to know that the department genuinely cares and wants to go beyond just making an arrest from last night's incidents. So by going to door to door, our hope is that communicating with these residents, that at some level it gives them some reassurance. I mean, what I said to the staff today is nobody should live in an area where the night before you had 2 shootings and potentially 2 homicides, separate incidents. I mean, that's not how we should be living in America. And we're the front lines of getting this fixed, and that's why we're here. So, Major Healy, got any thoughts, buddy?
How y'all doing? Major Steve Healy, Healy. I command the LMPD 2nd Division. It is really frustrating the amount of gun violence that we have. It's frustrating to me that individuals that live in their neighborhoods and they are so accustomed to hearing gunfire that they may not even report it anymore because they're just used to hearing it. In this area, we've had 74 shot spotter runs. That's totally unacceptable. When we have children, and that's what they are, they're children getting shot in our streets, dying in our streets, that's unacceptable to me as the commander of the 2nd Division. My officers are going to be actively out in these neighborhoods. They are going to be visible. They are going to be approachable. If anybody has anything they need to talk about, anything they see, anything they want to relay, my officers are approachable. I'm approachable. My office is at 3419 Bone Avenue. You can come down there anytime and have a conversation. With the violence and the violent crime that we're seeing here in the 2nd Division, I have reached out to the ATF. Myself, my division, and my officers are going to be partnering with the ATF to combat some of this violent crime out here. Along with the violent crime, we're also seeing a spike in vehicular deaths. So we're going to be doing traffic enforcement in the 2nd Division as well. So be accustomed to seeing the marked cars in the neighborhoods because this is not acceptable anymore. The violent crime is no longer acceptable. It wasn't acceptable before, but the amount that we're having, the age of the victims it's sad and it's unacceptable. So, questions?
We've heard for years about how difficult it is to get people in the neighborhoods to provide you with information. How is that still a problem, I assume, and how could this effort be different?
It is still a problem, but I don't see where it's acceptable to anybody for 14, 15, 16-year-old children to be killed in the streets. I don't see where anybody, if you have information on a crime that heinous, that you would not share that. We have anonymous tip lines where you can call and be anonymous. Our homicide detectives are some of the best in the country, and they just need a starting point. If you can just give them a starting point. But the amount of violence that's out here, how that can be acceptable and not people report it, I don't understand it.
How common is a canvas like this after a violent crime?
We always will do canvases after a homicide. Usually The detectives, my detectives in the second, if we have a shooting, we'll do neighborhood canvases, and also homicide will do neighborhood canvases after a homicide.
What is the main driver, do you think, behind this? Is it gangs, social media, a combination? What are you seeing?
I think it's a combination of both. We have gang issues that we're addressing. We have individuals that get on Facebook and will just a sign of disrespect can provoke violence. That's unacceptable. The availability of firearms, individuals that leave firearms in unlocked vehicles. There's several factors involved here, and we need to come together as a community, both the police, as a neighbor in the community, and also the community where enough is enough. This violence, enough is enough.
Chief Shields, I believe you said that you believe these are two separate incidences. Do you think that they're connected at all?
So we're not closing the door on anything. Early indications are that they are unrelated, but we cannot say that with a level of certainty at this point. So we're exploring all avenues.
What is going on right now? What sort of new factor is out there that could be leading to so many young people being shot and killed?
Oh, well, I mean, no one wants to state the obvious, but it's the availability of guns. I mean, especially in southern states that have lax gun laws, and when people legally buy guns and they do not secure them, they get stolen, and this is where they end up. And so when you're dealing with young people, and if you think back to when you were younger, some of you still are very young, and the conflict resolution skills that you did or did not have, your mind is still developing, literally, and you have a gun. So before you might have used to, lose your temper, punch a friend, punch a wall. Well, now you have a gun. So I mean, I think we overthink this. And the reality of it is the guns are in the hands of children.
Do you have any suspects yet in either of these shootings or any type of motive that you know of right now?
I'm not going to comment at that level of detail. I think my only consternation on this all, the homicide unit has done a fantastic job, but I am aware that on the second incident, the adults who were present are uncooperative. And to me, that is shameful. When you have a child who is near death and the people that can provide insight don't want to talk, at that point, we need to look at ourselves in a mirror and say, what are we doing? Because as Major Healy stated, that we have become normalized to children being slaughtered is complete crap. And as a society, I don't care what part of town you're on, we have got to be better than that. And that is why we're going to be out here, and we're going to appeal for the community to help us get this under control, because no one wants to live like this. You guys don't want to go home and have gunshots in your neighborhood, have your neighbors getting murdered, having people shot in the street. No one wants that. So we're going to get a handle on it.
Whether these recent cases are related or not, we seem to be seeing a surge in cases involving young people. Is there something recent that has happened or is going on that is different?
I think that Major Healy hit on it. It's when you start drilling down on the drivers of these cases, the simplicity of it all is alarming. It will be people getting offended by stuff said on social media. I mean, literally, it is that basic. And there's not some big, I guess folks wants to come up with some elaborate scheme, underworld. No, children have guns. They had the availability of guns in the hands of young people is the driver of this. If you don't have the guns, you don't have the shooting.
Personal vendettas? Really? It's just that simple?
Often.
Is there any pressure now to prevent any retaliatory shootings, especially
Oh.
in the wake of children getting shot, especially when you have adults that are uncooperative? Is that kind of where your mind is going?
Certainly. You've nailed it. You've nailed it. And this is the whole point of, I know people may be tired of hearing about it, but group violence intervention, GVI. The whole point of GVI is to interrupt violence. And so what we will be looking at is, all right, of the victims and the potential suspects, who is in the network, where might the retaliation come from? Because we are seeing that in a vast number of incidents, that there is the retaliatory shootings as a result. And so we want to get ahead of that, certainly. Yes.
Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.